It's time now for the Peter Channel 11 o'clock news. It's late. When that? 27th July 2016. Good evening, everybody. I am Peter Wiggins, and now your late at 11 o'clock news runs. Top story of the 11th hour is Philadelphia. Vice President Joe Biden rejected Donald Trump's TV cash trade. Fired with a line of his own during the first try to get the billionaire Republican nominee Wednesday. 35 years after he shot President Ronald Reagan in 3 hours outside a D.C. hotel, John W. Hinckley Jr. will be released from a government sector and hospital. Federal judge ordered on Wednesday. The mother of one of the victims of the Orlando nightclub shouldn't have made it. It was a plea from the stage of the Democratic National Convention as she called for coveted sex gun policies. In a widely lauded speech at the Democratic National Convention on Monday, Michelle Obama reflected on a remarkable fact of African-American family living in an executive mansion. The final charges against Baltimore police officers involved in a verdict-degree case have been dropped. The medical examiners are deemed as that of a death for the homicide as a result of injuries sustained in the police custody. A formal announcement has not been made by the Obama Foundation, but the selection caps a highly competitive campaign by numerous cities to host the library as Obama's big presidential library site in Chicago. Florida. Donald Trump paid calls on Russian intelligence agencies on Wednesday to find 30,000 of Hillary Clinton's deleted emails in the Senate interest to the uproar over Moscow's alleged intervention in the presidential election. UK places of worship have been urged to revere their security after a priest was killed in a church in France. A suicide bomber riding an empty laptop truck laden with explosive boom on Wednesday night in the credit district in the predominantly Kurdish town of Kamishal in northern Syria caused a massive destruction, killing 44 people in a new attack. Washington. In a late afternoon, international court ruling on China's claims in the South China Sea this month. The United States officials talked about relevant and close to the post terrible cost to Beijing's international reputation of Florida. Philadelphia. Senator Timothy M. Kaine took the stage for the first time as his party's nominee for the vice president to the convention on Wednesday. Washington. Metro Transit Police say normal operations are resuming at United Station after officers investigated a report of suspicious package. Harry Reid in the telecommittee gives Donald Trump fake briefings. The race-edited text on police in Dawson, Baton Rouge, Louisiana caused mass impact in the number of ambush attempts to law enforcement officers nationwide so far in 2016 compared with last year, according to data compiled by the National Law Enforcement. The one in the ringgit led gains in Asian currencies as the dollar dropped after the Federal Reserve said it was adopting a gradual pace toward tightening monetary policy. So Samsung Electronics Company reported its most profitable quarter in 2 years on Thursday. Strong sales of the flagship Galaxy S7 smartphone helping an offset a drop in profit on semiconductor sales and display panels. Tokyo Asia stocks edged up on Thursday after the Federal Reserve provided a positive assessment on the world's largest economy and lifted risk sentiments. Coming off an all-time high price of $123.34, Facebook in Q2 2016 splashed earnings again. The social network continued steadily growth, just slightly slowed to 3.63% compared with the last quarter's 3.77%. It added 16 million monthly users this quarter. Jupiter's Great Red Spot is apparently red hot. The highest temperatures ever observed on the planet were recently detected in a region about the Jonah storm. How many species of wolves live in America? New study suggested there's just one. The new work published on Wednesday in Science advances that the gray wolf is a one-true wolf in the United States. Ceres, a dwarf planet, so-called queen of the asteroid belt, or the region of the solar system with numerous irregularly shaped objects. Strange event fiction, 2 new ant species have been named after the Game of Thrones dragons, and their resemblance could change scientists' assumptions about spiny ants. It turns out that the much mocked ice bucket challenge videos to help do a lot of good. 2 summons go to challenge designed to raise money for research into leptospirosis, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease, took the internet by storm. Health officials in Florida now are investigating 4 possibly non-travel cases related to Zika virus. The State Department of Health said on Wednesday, too much cinnamon is bad for health, but there are some simple ways to counteract the damage. Cinnamon at work can raise cancer risk in women. With antibiotic-resistant superbugs arise, researchers are on an urgent hunt of a bacteria that might yield chemicals we can harness as powerful drugs. Philadelphia, Tuesday. Democrats nominated women to be president first time on Thursday night, Hillary Clinton will accept that nomination. Philadelphia, Virginia Senator Tim Kaine introduced himself Wednesday night to American voters by sharing his life story with a heavy emphasis on his Jesuit upbringing and the working class roots while demonstrating his ability to play the traditional. Former New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg boomed into politics after gaining wealth and crowd for Bloomberg LP, the world's leading financial news and information company, and he endorsed Clinton calls Trump a dangerous demagogue. Philadelphia anger over trade is pressing the Lockhart and the Democrats have enjoyed an industrial Midwest in a recent presidential election, turning region perhaps into the central battleground in the contest between Democrat Hillary Clinton and Republican Donald Trump. Okay, take a look at local news from the Sun Chronicle. Edinburgh, staring heat and dry skies have prompted the city to put a restriction on water use starting on Friday as the reservoir levels dip below normal. The city joins surrounding towns that already have imposed restrictions. Mayor Kevin Dumas announced the restriction late Wednesday as the temperature hit 93, the sixth straight day of a heat wave in which temperatures hit 90 and above. Meanwhile, state environmental officials have classified the dry spells went into moderate drought conditions. Dumas said a lack of rain and lower than normal water levels in city reservoirs led to the move. In Norton, a 48-year-old Minnesota man in prison in his home state for less than 2 boys has waived an extradition hearing to return to Massachusetts and face pending molestation charges he allegedly sexually assaulted a 14-year-old Norton boy years ago. Not however, as electric commission went to consider of an electric department's annual reimbursement to town government, but it was contended that would be a turnaround to a rate hike for electric customers. A new report released by Toxic Action Center and another organizations question whether the benefits of expanding use of the natural gas to meet America's energy needs or what the potential for environmental harm from the release of greenhouse gases. Peter Channel News time, 11:06 on this late Wednesday night, and it is time now for a weather report. No, it's time now for a traveling and transit report. Hey! Let's study off on the MBTA on the rails. Where? It's commuter rail looking good. On the subway, looking good, and on the ferries, they are looking good. On the highways and byways. 95 on the northbound side is backed up after the George Washington Bridge up through the Bronx. Long Expressway is slow for Brooklyn down to Midtown Manhattan. Lincoln Tunnel is looking good, and Hall Tunnels are looking good. 278 slow on both ends of the Brooklyn stretch. Friends and Narrows Bridge is backed up on both ends. Belt Parkway is slow from 678 in JFK down to Brooklyn. 95 on the southbound side, also on 287 in New Rochelle, New York. New Jersey trip out looking from New York all the way to Delaware. Go to State Parkway, southbound side is backed up down Port Falboy. And Long Expressway eastbound side is backed down to Queens. Merritt Parkway in both ends, a little slow for the Sanford stretch. Merritt Parkway on the north eastbound side, a little slow Fairfield stretch. 95 on the southbound side is backed up to West Haven. 91 on the southbound side, a little slow New Haven. 95 on the northbound side is backed up to Old Saybrook to New London. I-84 on the eastbound side is backed to Newton. I-84 westbound side is slow after Route 8 in Waterbury. I-84 eastbound side, a little slow to Waterbury stretch. Route 9 in both ends, a little slow. Route 91, 95 on the northbound side is backed up from Old Saybrook to New London. Western Massachusetts, 91 on the northbound side is backed up from 57 to 291 in Springfield, and 91 on the southbound side is backed up to Northampton stretch. Berkshire Freeway eastbound side, a little slow just after the Taconic Strait Parkway. Mass parking in the eastbound side is backed up after Route 146 in Millbury, and mass parking will change to 293.95. Auburn is backed up. 295 on the northbound side is backed behind 37 in Creston. 95 on the southbound side, a little slow on Route 1 in Sharon. Next, San Francisco Expressway, southbound side is backed up for Quincy to the main 2 split. 129 on the northbound side is backed up to Beverly Stretch. 495 on the southbound side is backed up for 93 Lawrence already at to Westford. Route 290 eastbound side is backed up for Leominster Stretch. 93 on the northbound side, a little slow after the Everett Tolls up in Manchester, Hampshire. Spalding trip back on the northbound side, and southbound side is backed up around the Dover Stretch. 295 it's to go from Falmouth all the way at the East Portland, Maine, and 295 on the southbound side, a little slow before the Freeport Stretch. Main turnabout on the northbound side is backed up for the Great Main stretch, and 95 on the southbound side, a little slow Augusta stretch. And I-87 on the southbound side is backed up after Canadian War up in Plattsburgh, New York, and New York State Freeway on the eastbound side backed up around 390 in Henrietta, New York. And New York State Freeway is backed up on the eastbound side between 890 and Schenectady to 87 in Albany. And Pennsylvania turnabout on the westbound side, it is a little slow just around the Exton, Pennsylvania, and 95 on the northbound side, also in Chester, Pennsylvania, and the Golden State Parkway is backed up after Atlantic City, Park in Atlantic City, and 695 on the northbound side, also in Towson Stretch, 95 on the northbound side, also in Bel Air, and Baltimore Washington Parkway, a little slow around 95 headed towards Baltimore, and 395 on the northbound side, a little slow around Capital Beltway, Washington, D.C., and Route 59 on the eastbound side, it is backed up in the stretch just before the Bay Bridge. Peter Channel News, I'm 11:09 on this Wednesday night, and it's time now for a water report. And expect another hot one in store for tomorrow. Okay, how's this water outlook? Day 1 tonight has weather not affected the time, and day 2 for 7. Thursday, Tuesday be a risk for low class heavy rain and potential flooding, especially with any thunderstorms as a storm sweeps south of New England. Alright, 7-day forecast goes like this. For tonight, close skies about 63 degrees, calm wind. Thursday, increased skies about 91 degrees, southwest about 3 to 8 miles. Thursday, a slight chance of showers after 3 a.m. Most skies low about 70 degrees. South about 3 to 7 miles. Chance temperature 20%. Friday, chance of showers at thunderstorms for 8 a.m. Then showers likely possibly a thunderstorm between 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. Then a chance of showers and thunderstorms after 3 p.m. Some storms put us every rainfall. Cloud skies about 80 degrees. Calm wind becoming a north front 5 miles in the afternoon. Chance of precipitation 6%. New rain for miles between a quarter and an inch possible. Friday night, chance of showers and thunderstorms moving before 11 p.m. Most skies low about 65 degrees and north about 6 miles an hour. Cover the northwest at midnight. Chance of precipitation 50%. For Saturday, most of the podcast about 83, about 64 degrees. Sunday, parts of about 80 degrees. Saturday night, podcast chance of showers. Most skies about 63 degrees and chance of precipitation 40%. Monday, chance of showers between 2 and 3 p.m. Parts of sky about 80 degrees. Chance of precipitation 30%. Monday night, podcast about 62 degrees. Tuesday, Sunday, most good sky about 86 by 64 degrees. And for Wednesday, most of the sky about 86 degrees. Currently not near, it is an overcast skies and it's 72 degrees. The humidity 81%. And that is going to be it for the Peter channel. 11 o'clock news is late. When that 23rd of July 2016, I'm Peter. Have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow morning with a more report. Good night.